Jimmy Spoon and the Pony Express by Kristina Gregory. Chapter 27, Jimmy's Search. Two old grandmothers set up a teepee for Jimmy and Pen on a raised bank near the river. They positioned it to the northeast side of a cottonwood tree so that it would have sunshine in the morning, then shade in the afternoon when the day became hot. The cover was made from moose hide and, when wrapped around the 9 pools, looked like a short brown cone. The hem stopped 2 inches above ground, but a liner on the inside would keep out drafts and moisture. Around the fire, women arranged 2 backrests, some cooking utensils, and a pile of kindling. Pen ran his hand over the thick, dark fur of the buffalo robe that was to be his bed. He was fascinated how sunlight made the curved walls look golden, and how, high overhead, the crisscross of poles formed a beautiful design. Blue sky showed through the opening. "I declare, Jim, this beats that gloomy old cabin any day." Pen recovered from his fright of the day before. The old woman, named Sing Song Grass, had cared for him as if he were her son. Pen the orphan was an orphan no more. On his feet were a new pair of moccasins, and he wore a long shirt made from soft deerskin. It was fringed at the knees and along the shoulders and sleeves. "You look good," Jimmy told him. "Made you take a bath, didn't they?" Pen laughed. His dark blonde hair looked several shades lighter, and gone were the bits of leaves and twigs that had nestled in the curls. "Alls I could think of," he said, "was long ago, when I was real little. A lady from the wagon train carried me into a river, then afterward dressed me in a big clean shirt of her husband's. It felt so good I wished she could have been my mother. That's what yesterday's bath made me remember." Jimmy looked at his friend. "I'm glad you came with me, Pen. I wouldn't have made it all this way without you." Every afternoon, Old Mother's friends helped her walk to the riverbank where it was cool. Dappled sunlight filtered down through the cottonwoods where they sat listening to their grandchildren play. When Old Mother heard Jimmy approach, her face lifted with a smile. "Dowie, I am ready to hear more from your book." She patted the ground next to her, inviting him to sit. Ever since she had learned, Jimmy had a Bible with the words Bea Opa, the Great Spirit, with the words from Bea Opa, the Great Spirit. She insisted he read and translate for her. "Yes, Old Mother, I'll read. But first I must ask you something." Here Jimmy hesitated. He wished she understood English so he could talk without the others hearing. Instead, he leaned close and spoke in her ear. "Old Mother," he said, "since I came 8 suns ago, I have looked through camp and beyond. I have not seen Nahini or her family." Old Mother nodded. "Nor have I seen her." She laughed at her joke, then stopped herself. Dowie was speaking from his heart. This was not the time to tease. "Many have gone to the river north of here," she offered, "to welcome back the leaping fish with a blessing ceremony. Washaki is there." Jimmy knew Old Mother was talking about the Chinook salmon and their annual return from the ocean. The ceremony was sacred, with hours of prayer and thanksgiving. Like the buffalo, salmon were respected and honored because year after year they sustained the people. "Before the snows," Old Mother continued, "Nahini was here. She and her mother had made moccasins for me. We talked about the bear, and we talked about you." Jimmy's heart leapt. Nahini hadn't forgotten him after all. "What did she say about me?" he asked. Old Mother listened to the river for several moments before answering. "There are many things on a young woman's mind, on a young woman's heart, when each moon passes." What did Old Mother mean? Was Nahani in love with someone? Jimmy was afraid to ask because he was afraid of what the answer might be. He remembered something from long ago. It was the evening after he had rescued Nahani from the grizzly bear. By the fire in Washaki's teepee, her grateful parents promised him a gift. Their daughter Nahani would one day be his bride. But Jimmy had said no. "I do not want a wife." Those words now haunted him. "Old Mother," he said, "I am going to go north and to welcome the leaping fish. When I return, you and I will have much to talk about." "Yes, son, I know." And that is the end of chapter 27.